Today's agenda is we are going to discuss about management system certification body. What is the requirement to issue an accredited certificate to their clients? It is a conformity assessment series standard ISO 17021 part 1. It is a requirement for bodies providing audit and certification management system. Today's agenda is to understand 17021 part 1 principles, requirements, competency requirements, consistency in their processes, then impartiality of management system certification body, MSCB. This 17021 part 1, it has the 10 requirement like a high level standard structure. Similarly, compared to the 9001 or 1445 standards, the scope, normative reference, terms and definitions are not an auditable requirements. The auditable requirement starts with for the principles. Principle also not directly applied to as a requirement. It is only the methodology and principles need to be adopted during the accreditation audit based on 17021 part 1. This is applicable to all the certification body. If they are giving a 9001 quality management system or an environmental or in a food safety or an energy management system or any other management system. The number 5, general requirement to the management system requirement CB. These requirements are auditable requirements. We are going to discuss one by one the summary of each and every requirements, what it says, how the certification body applies this. The scope of the quality management system requirements about based on 17021. It is a third party assessment bodies are eligible to apply to achieve. Any third party would like to issue an accredited certificate, they are eligible to apply. The eligibility could be non-governmental or governmental with or without regulatory authority. Several national certification bodies accredited on 17021 part 1 and with a regulatory authority. For an accreditation body, it is a criteria to accredit a management system certification body. So the audit on the management system certification based on 17021 requirements. 17021 part 1 we are discussing. The standard in this group has 12 part. 17021 part 1 to part 12. The normative reference of this standard is given into one is about 9000 quality management system fundamental and vocabulary, as all of you might be aware about this. Then another one is 17,000 conformity assessment vocabulary and general principles. This conformity assessment vocabulary is applicable for ISO 17021, ISO 17020, ISO 17025, ISO 17024. Terms and definitions given in the 17021 part 1. Certified client. It means the organization whose management system has been certified. Normally, it is understood most of the cases. The impartiality, presence of objectivity, in other way around, the conflict of interest, absence of conflict of interest or conflict of interest do not exist. Here the standard emphasize a third party certification bodies to practice the impartiality. One of the conflict of interest is the certification body directly or indirectly involved in management system consultancy. That's why the standard here given the definition very clearly. Participation in establishing, implementing, maintaining management system is called management system consultancy. Arranging the training and participating as a trainer is not considered as a consultancy. So the certification body allowed to provide a training other than implementation training. So certification body can provide awareness trainings, internal auditor training, lead auditor training, but they are not allowed to do like a ISO 9001 or implementer training, lead implementer trainings. The competency, the ability to apply knowledge and skill to achieve the intended result. And during the audit, there will be, other than the auditor and auditee, one of the third person in the audit is called guide, a person appointed by the client to assist the audit team. A smaller organization, we may not require the guide. The bigger organizations, complex business areas, we need a guide. So the guide will be appointed by the company's management representative or a top management or health and safety department to guide, support, ensuring their safety and security and time. The observer, the person who accompanies the audit team but does not audit. The observer could be team programmer. Sometimes the accreditation body need to evaluate auditor's competency during the audit. So the certification body may assign a senior competent observer, will observe only the auditor's competency, how they do. And also in 17021 accreditation audit, the accreditation body also pick a sample to witness the audit. But accreditation body won't involve in a certification or activity, but the certification body, how they perform the audit, how they conduct opening meeting, how they interview and the interaction with the client, how they are conducting closing meeting. So they may witness. That time the accreditation body auditors also treated as an observer. The technical area, the area characterized the commodities of the process relevant to the specific type of management system and intent results. So the technical area, it means the new latest version standards like 9, 14 and 45. We can take a section 8 operation. So these are the areas technical, it may vary one standard, one management system to other management system standard. Then technical expert, a person who provides specific knowledge or expertise to audit team. The standard very clearly describes the technical person not allowed to do an audit. Then what are the principles given by 17021 part 1? The management system certification body need to demonstrate the impartiality of the certification process. The management of the certification body need to demonstrate their impartiality. As we seen in the definition, impartiality is the absence of the conflict of interest or presence of objectivity. So how to demonstrate the CB impartiality? One of the best way is to commit their commitment on impartiality and declaring impartiality statement or impartiality public statement. So this statement must be available to all the interested parties, all the clients and potential clients. So the management system certification body can declare how they are going to demonstrate their impartiality in the certification process. Number 2, the principle about the competency. The competency requirements, the standard very clearly defines the requirement. All the process activity who are involved in a core activity of the certification body, who are doing in a pre-sale activities or a post-sale activities, who are the one reviewing and preparing the quotations or proposals, in charge for audit program or a audit program manager, audit team leader, or sometimes the team lead auditor, the auditor. Each and every role, there is a defined competency requirement. While defining the competency requirement also, the certification body need to ensure the impartiality. For an example, in certification body, based on my experience, the technical work like a mandate calculation, how many number of days required for this audit, what is the surveillance audit ratio, what is recertification ratio, Then what is the discount mandates we can reduce, what cases we can reduce. This and all may be done by an administrative person. He is not directly involved in audit, and also he may not be a lead auditor some cases. So that person who's doing all the calculation and generating and getting approval from the technical team must be incompetent, other than the lead auditor and the audit team member. Then after the completing an audit, the audit file need to be reviewed complete in line with the 17021 part 1 requirement. In addition to 17021, the part 2 talks about environmental management system, part 3 talks about quality management system, that requirement. In addition to ISO 19011 standard requirements. So there are 3-4 requirements need to be reviewed. One is the majorly and 17021 part 1 applicable for any management system audit. Then the specific requirement for quality, environmental, health and safety, food safety and all. So let us take a quality management system. It means 17021 part 3 need to be considered. Then auditing practice 19011. In addition to that, IAF, International Accreditation Forum, declared that MD, normally mandatory document, there are a 1 to 5 applicable to management system, that requirements need to be considered. Example, the mandates calculation. From the IAF mandatory document, it need to be taken to consideration. Who are involved in audit process, the certification process, the relevant persons need to be familiar and competent to understand, practice this, all the international assessment series standard. The certification body need to demonstrate the complete certification process to all the interested parties, their clients. What is the process practice? What are the procedures applicable? What is the mechanism of appealing any complaint? Even their manuals, their set of procedures are available openly, and also the openness. Aggregated clients, how many clients they aggregated, which are the standard, what are the scope and schemes, and their contact informations, their website address, all need to be done. But in certification body, not giving, but it will be given in on demand. So such a level of openness the accreditation body expect from the certification body. Confidentiality, then confidentiality, the certification body collateral confidential information from the client on their website by using a cookies and all. So this information need to be maintained in confidentiality. Certification body need to declare their confidentiality by using any of the agreements, contracts, or NDA, non-disclosure agreements. And also the CB is the responsible whenever they are using any third party freelance auditors, technical expert, technical reviewer, or outsourcing a certification activity which is not in their scope or their scheme. They are also there. Even though they maintain the confidentiality information, whenever there is a need of information by the government authorities like a police department or investigation departments, the CB need to share with the government authority. But that time, the CB need to communicate to then the responsiveness to the complaint, how the complaint handling process, appealing process. What are the stages of appealing? Then the complaint, there will be a committee. Whenever there is an auditor or an auditee raise any complaint, the committee must be independent. The impartiality need to. So the customer can appeal the complaint to the certification body or certification body team leaders. Then even they can raise a customer complaint to the accreditation body. Then the new principle is about the risk-based approach. The important part is about the impartiality-based risk-based approach. So how the impartiality, the risk is, like conducting the consultancy, or sometimes that getting some benefit from the client in other way, or making involvement of the business development. The risk-based approach need to be practiced. The impartiality statement, you have to commit that about how the risk-based approach adapted to the impartiality. These all are the principles from the 17021 part 1. The management system certification body need to practice, implement and maintain to obtain their accreditation. Next one is about the general requirement, legal and contractual requirement. The management system certification body should comply with applicable local, regional, federal regulation, company registration, VAT registration, and this kind of mandatory legal requirements they have to comply. Number 2, the certification body need to maintain a contractual agreement before initiating the initial audit. It means the contract is mandatory. They mutually agree what are the requirements, what are the services, usages, non-disclosure agreements, confidentiality, this all the information. When the customer is signing the contractual requirement, they can demand also, for example, that confidential information, SCB declares that we will maintain for 5 years. So if the client is interested, believes that not sufficient, they can demand more. That mutual, there are a standard contract, most of the body circulates with application, the client sign and submit. If the client want to modify the contractual requirement, yes, the CB cannot deny. 5.2, the management of responsibility. The management responsibility, the management commit to comply with the maintaining all the principles. Then 5.3, liability and financing. But in 9001 and other standards, in generally the auditor not involved in about our trial balance, financial statements, bank statement. The accreditation auditor has a right to evaluate a complete your financial statement, where you are the certification body is getting the money, what are the sources of revenue, that is more important. They are getting the, sometimes they might be having a group of companies. The group of companies may provide them some donation or some kind of gift or some other way the money, or NGO they issue money, then they may be certified some group of companies favor to them. This kind of conflict, to ensure the financial conflict, this 5.3 is there. They have to show all kind of revenues. The next we are going to discuss about structural. The structural requirement is organization structure and top management, similar to the organization, but here several CBs from the with the regulatory authority, it means the government bodies. There only the potential conflict in this requirement is how the other government department involve or influence the decision making of the certification body. For example, in India, there is a government regulated body, certification body. Then it might be under the Ministry of Science and Technology or Human Resource Department, the ministry. So that the ministry, some IAS officer might be the, or relevant grade person might be the in charge, but there could be a minister's other department, the higher officials, how they influence this. This requirement is purely about if the certification body is part of group of companies, how the organization maintains the impartiality and conflict of interest. That need to be defined. Then 6.2 about the operational control, how it works, what are the functions, the role and responsibility, the other who makes the decision. This kind of informations need to be defined here. In 6.2, the operation, see, we think that the process requirements, it will be given here. No, it is given in the requirement number 9 about the certification process. It is about generic operational controls described here about the certification body. So next one is 7 is about the resource requirement. Next requirement is about resource requirement. 7.1, the competency of person. The standard very clearly the competency requirements for the audit program manager, audit team leader, auditor, who propose the proposal quotation, who calculates the mandates. This all who are involved in certification process and audit process, they must be competent. To get this more information, the requirements given in relevant 17021 series like quality management system 17021 part 3, more about the competency requirements. If it is in a food safety standard, 22003 defines more requirements about the food safety. So in 17021 requirement, in addition to the specific management system requirements, there are 17021 other part describes specially only for quality, only for environmental, only for health and safety. That requirements need to consider, and the labor certification body need to maintain a matrix describing what is the competency requirement, what is the current status. If it is there is a gap identified, appropriate action like 9001 we have to make. And also for your information, the certification body practice 9001 management system in their processes. The next is about the personnel involved in certification process. The standard defines very clear specific requirements of competency and who are involved, the selection of auditors, evaluation of auditors, maintaining of the competency, the continual professional development requirements and all given under the 7.2. The 7.3, the management system certification body, use of individual and external auditors and expert. So here there are two clear requirements are given, is about using a individual independent freelance auditor and outsourcing a certification body. The requirements are very clear. If you are assessing a individual freelance auditor, the requirements are very simple to comply with the competency requirements. If you are outsourcing in a certification body, again the complete 17021 part 1 requirements, is they met or not, that you have to evaluate and ensure. Then the personal records, it's a mandatory requirement. The CV, approval, evaluation, continual professional development, training, on-job training, internal evaluation of the auditor competency. This all the records need to be maintained, including certification process audit from receiving of inquiry until issuing a certification and collecting the customer feedback. This complete records also need to be maintained, but it is another requirement. Here this is about only a personal records requirement. 1.4 about outsourcing. The certification body can outsource their core business if they don't have an A code or they are in busy or any situation. Let up to the business. There must be a formal agreement between both CBs. The CBs in the requirements, the scope of delivery, battery limits and all, then SLA service level agreement. And here also the ultimate responsibility to the client is which certification body gets an order from the customer or signed a contract with them. So the conflict of interest, confidentiality principles need to be adopted and maintained. And also has to do the risk assessment due to the outsourcing, how that could affect. Number 8 is about the information requirement. Here the certification body, why? The public information. Like what we do in 9001 8.2 about that sales and marketing process, the public information available, what is the certification process, what are the scope they provide, who are the certified clients, what is the mechanism, duration of period, benefit of the certification, what is the difference between accredited certificate and non-accredited certificate, how to appeal the customer complaint. So this all completely the information. Even some certification body they release their manuals, their mechanisms and procedures, the events. These all are the public information they have to define and it must be available. Nowadays, compliance is easy of using their website or their magazines and books. Then certification documents. It about purely about certificate. How certificate supposed to be? What are the minimum information must be there in the certificate? Like a name of the body, accreditation logo, certification body logo, first audit, what is the report reference number, certificate valid for up to that. The ISO 9001 management system certification bodies need to ensure that their logos and IAF logos not used in the product. It is not a product requirement. It is a management system certification. So they can use only the promotional area. Again, the confidentiality related to the customer requirement, customer information. Then exchange of information between CB. It need to be defined. They have to exchange the information about one CB to other CB. These all are the requirements. Then about the 9 process requirement.
Yeah.
It talks about the pure core business about the certification. How the certification body runs the business. What are the process activity? That activity related requirement about the free certification activity, application, evaluating the application, ensuring that client's legal entity, the scope and their the remaining informations, and ensuring that signing the agreements, signing the NDA, all the activities. Then 9.2, the planning of an audit, the planning of audit program for a 3-year period, and selecting the auditors, nominating team leaders. This all the activities described in 9.2, the planning of activity. Normally, the certification manager or audit program manager perform this activity. The 9.3, initial certification. That initial certification start with stage 1 plus document review and stage 2 audit. Then other part is first year surveillance and second year surveillance. The mandates need to be followed according to the IAF mandatory documents. The 9.4, conducting audit. It is about the field audit. Stage 1 audit we can consider as adequacy audit. Stage 2 we can consider as a field audit. Here the audit methodology, how the audit take place, a physical audit or virtual audit. This all the processes and procedures must be defined, documented within the organization. It must be available. Then after submitting the audit reports, who makes the certification decision? The technical file review, making the decision and recommending to issue the certificate. The 9.6, the maintaining the certification. There is some spelling mistake over here. The maintaining the certification. It about the surveillance. What is the first surveillance is 1/3 of mandate. Second surveillance is 2/3 of the initial audit mandates. Then what are the requirements to be audited? The frequency once in a year time, the 11th month of the year, and recertification requirements. Here it talks about the mandate calculation, addition mandates, reduction of mandates. This all the requirements are described in 9 points. For example, appealing the grading of non-conformity. Certification body given major non-conformity. You would like to make as a minor non-conformity. Or they are given as a finding, but you believe strongly it is not a finding or anything. They may be giving us a negative observation, but if you feel it is a positive observation. This kind of things the client can appeal. What is the mechanism? Who will be the responsible person to do this? That need to be given. Similarly, the customer complaint. What is the frequency of responding? Who will be responsible? Who are the core team members to decide the case-by-case customer complaint? At that time, the auditors, audit team leader, audit program managers, they should not be in the committee of customer complaint handling committee to maintain the impartiality. Client records. The maintaining the client records according to the earlier our document control and record control procedures. Now it is documented information. So similarly, we can the audit process requirement. It talks about purely about auditing process. What are the things from the beginning, receiving inquiry until issuing a certificate, how to do, what are the requirements. Now the turn is about the documentation requirement or management system requirements. System requirements, system documents, they're given an option A and B. You can follow ISO 9001 quality management system requirements and comply all mandatory procedures like documented information controls, internal audit, management review, non-conformity handling, corrective action, risk-based thinking, risk assessment. You can follow, or the standard describes these requirements. They can choose anyone, and also for your information, even they follow ISO 9001 quality management system requirements. They cannot get a certificate because certification body not able to get their own ISO 9001 certificate because one of the requirement of 17021 is certification body not allowed to certify any other certification body based on the 9001 requirement because they have to obtain 17021 requirements, not 9001 requirement. But they can practice all the principles and the requirements of 9001 to obtain 17021 accreditation. These all are the basic summary about 17021 requirements. So when you read the 17021 requirements or implement, you have to take the 17021 part 2 to part 12, ISO 19011 auditing practices, and IAF International Accreditation Forum mandatory documents. This all together you have to look into, get a complete idea how the certification body practices and demonstrates their competency to obtain 17021. Thank you.